Welcome back to Bash Bros and episode 17 of Notorious Pro Wrestling. The Let's Play series, we find out what exactly would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. So the last time you guys were here was our pay-per-view, and it went surprisingly well, considering that booking it led to a bunch of issues. So if we took a look at it here, you can see we got a 61. The issues that arose were the fact that we got two of our biggest talents got double booked. So James Storm and Rich Swann ended up having to go do NWA or Impact shows. But a good couple of promos from Conor McGregor allowed us to still score quite highly. In terms of news then from around the world, some actually pretty big ones. WWE released a couple of people, and before you get your hopes up, no, I'm not going to sign AJ Styles, I'm not going to sign The Undertaker, and I'm not going to sign Dana Brooke. 2 out of these 3 are for different reasons though. Dana Brooke, I don't rate. She's not particularly over in the UK and Ireland, and her scores are okay, like they're fine. Her stamina isn't strong, and with us having her longer matches, that's going to let her down quite a lot. The other 2 are, I'm not going to sign them because I can't. Because I'm too... Well, Undertaker doesn't work in Britain, and even if I asked him to, he's not going to sign for us because we're too small. And AJ Styles is the exact same. He's not going to sign with us, we're too small. I did try, negotiate, and he rejected negotiations. So yeah, unfortunately they won't be coming to us anytime soon until... Maybe we can get them whenever we go up to a small size level, but until then, it's not happening. Undertaker as well, I wouldn't bring him in as a wrestler, he's retired anyway. I think he'd be a very good road agent. Like, his psychology is strong, and his experience and respect and reputation are all as good as they can be. I think he'd be a fantastic road agent. So if I do try and get him in, that's what I'll get him in under. AJ Styles, well, it's AJ Styles. If he comes in, he's going to be fucking the champion within a week. I guarantee. I'm going to TNA this. Like, you bring the new guy in, the hot shit, and you just give him the belt right away. But unfortunately, that's not on the cards in the immediate future. So that's it in terms of news and updates and stuff like that for you guys. So I will go ahead and book the show, and I will see you on the other side. And we are back, coming from the Black Box in Belfast. It is Thursday Night Wanted, and as you can see, I had to use a lot of the pre-show. There was a lot of stuff to fit in between having the return of James Storm, between having to fit in the 2 pay-per-view matches that were missed, having to get in the women's tournament match, having to get in the promo for the new tag team. There was a lot to do, but saying that, it should be a good show overall. So let's see how it goes. So in the pre-show then, debuting the Mighty Don't Kneel defeated Easton Reese and Chris Adonis in 15:46 after Thunder Valley. Again, Chris Adonis was pinned and Chris was the weak link. We knew that. He's not very good. After the pay-per-view, we know he's not very good. 45 overall, which is really solid. Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols put in 2 hell of performances, 51, which is as good as the Grizzly Young Vets have been pulling out, I think. Chris Adonis 32 and Easton Reese 45. Both of the Mighty debuted their gimmicks and got great and very good. This is just to again allow Chris Adonis to eat another pinfall and then lead to the next segment, which is Easton Reese just beats the shit out of Chris Adonis. He's like, you've cost me 2 matches, I brought you in to be my partner, and you have proven to be worthless. Get the fuck out. And that's probably the last we will now see of Chris Adonis. We'll maybe do a 1v1 next week, possibly, just to give Easton Reese a bit of momentum back, although he hasn't taken a pin in the 2 losses. Still just to get a bit of momentum back. 43 for that, which is pretty good. Moving on then to a match in the women's tournament. Riho defeated Debbie Kettle in 14:45 with a Northern Light suplex in a 41-minute match. That's not bad. Riho had an in-ring performance of 45, which is, it's good, but I think I was expecting more. And Debbie Kettle had an in-ring performance of 35, which was okay. Debbie debuted her Woke Queen gimmick and got a great response, which is fantastic. After the match then, Tessa Blanchard, who's been sitting at ringside or in the crowd, starts taunting Riho, and Riho gets in her face again. This is the tie into the mini narrative of the tournament, which is Tessa versus all the Joshi wrestlers. 43 for that, which is good. We're moving on then to the debut of a new tag team. So Davey Boy Smith and Curtis Axel are in the ring, and they say they are a dynasty of wrestling heritage. Between the British Bulldog and Mr. Perfect, these two have wrestling in their blood. So dynasty is what they will be called going forward. And Curtis Axel says he will no longer be Curtis Axel. He is Joe Henning, a name that matches the dynasty that he is a part of. I think the common theme of those two being kind of second and third generation superstars is a good way to make them kind of click together. And not only that, it's another tag team to add to our division. And on top of that, I just don't like the name Curtis Axel, and technically it's a WWE name, so we wouldn't be allowed to use it anyway. So yeah, after this he will now be known as Joe Henning. A 37 segment, which is a bit disappointing. This was given the full 6 minutes, so might be worth looking at them having a manager. Yeah, be nice if we get like an old school manager, and like if Jimmy Hart or someone could maybe come manage them, but we'll see. On to the main show now. So James Storm and Conor McGregor. James Storm is back and finds Conor McGregor backstage and is like, look, I want my title shot, and not only that, after I win the title, I'm going to go find out who attacked me. 83, so James Storm is one of our highest talkers, and Conor McGregor, we know, can pull out a great promo, so I'm happy enough with that. And in a match that was missed from the pay-per-view, Stevie Boy defeated Rich Swann with a Canadian Destroyer, following interference from Kaylee Ray. So during this match then, the Filthy Generation would run down the ringside to try and distract Rich Swann, but then the Cyborg Bros will come out and support Rich Swann in that and fight them off. But while that's happening, Kaylee Ray, who we actually haven't seen with the Filthy Generation yet, will come in and cost Rich Swann the match. 49, which is good. Rich really pulled a good match out of Stevie, who was not great. So post-match angle then, with Kaylee Ray standing tall with the Filthy Generation as the quartet is finally complete. 38 for that. None of the Filthy Generation are great talkers, so I'll take that. Then in a good match, Pentagon Jr. defeated Timmy Force, the force of nature, Timmy Force, in 6:05 with a top rope styles clash. 41 rated segment. This was kind of a squash match. This is going to tie into an angle going forward. The Pentagon is not finished with Sonico, so this will tie into the segment next. Pentagon injures Timmy then. If you know that his storyline from Lucha Underground, where he does the arm breaker on everyone, pretty much we're going to be doing that, because I fucking love that storyline. And that led to Vampiro being revealed as the master, which, although they did have a great match, a great fight, the Vampiro being his master was a bit disappointing. So yeah, we are having a master, quote unquote, come in, and he will then be the manager for Penta, who speaks very little English. 48, and I didn't get the penalty for his limited English, which is a bit weird. Has he learnt English all of a sudden? Because 48's decent. I'm curious about that one. I'm going to go see if he has somehow learnt English, but we'll see. And then in the main event, which should have been the main event at the pay-per-view, James Storm versus Chris Hero for the Notorious Pro Wrestling Championship. In an exceptional match, Chris Hero defeated James Storm in 2002 with a Hangman Clutch facebuster, making the second title defense for the championship. 58 overall, really, really solid. That might actually be better than the Doug Williams match, I think. James Storm got a 55 and Chris Hero got a 58. And then after the match, Doug Williams comes out and says he wants one more shot at the title, but Chris Hero isn't having any of it. He's done. You've had 2 shots, I've beat you twice, it's not happening. That's a 40 rated segment. Wow, okay, so overall we got a 63, which is the best show we've done, I think. Was not expecting that. I think that's a testament to how good the main event was, and then also we got a boost from the Conor McGregor and the James Storm angle as well. No news to talk of then coming off the wanted tapings, but we will take a wee look at the updated brackets for the Women's Championship. So we still have 3 matches left in the round of 16. Viper versus Nicole Matthews, Zia Brookside versus Alpha Female, and Tennille Dashwood versus Rachel Ellering. Yeah, Rachel Ellering, not Raquel. Yeah, Rachel Ellering. So we are trucking along nicely, and we have our first quarterfinal match, which is Rio versus Killer Kelly. But yeah, so that is it for this episode of Notorious Pro Wrestling. Thank you very much, as always, for sticking about. If you have enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing, leaving a like, and always comment where you want any of the storylines, or if you have any suggestions about the creative direction to go. I don't know when we'll be back next, but you will be back for any big news articles, major plot points, or any big debuts or signings that I make. But other than that, thank you as always, and I will see you next time on Bash Bros.